Hello and welcome back to Bunnex Investment Group. In this video, we are going to talk about a very simple strategy that can be applied on NASDAQ or US 100 or NAS100, whatever you want to call it, but this high volatile asset. So NASDAQ is something that will require you to know exactly what you are doing. Otherwise, you can easily have a very big drawdown within this particular asset. But before we jump into the whole video, make sure you check out our free Telegram channel. The link is right in the description box below. So NAS100 will require you to know what you really are doing, as I've said earlier. So in doing so, you need to trade with the trend. And by trading with the trend, you are following basically market structure. So market structure involves of higher highs, right? Higher highs and lower highs in this case, and lower lows, like that. So these are basics of forex trading, or actually basics of trading, whereby we are defining market structure. So in this case, we may say market is giving us lower highs, and lower lows. Therefore, we are in a downward market trend. And whenever we have higher highs and higher lows, actually the inverse of what I've just drawn will be in an upward market trend. Then another factor that we need to know is break of market structure. So let's take, for instance, if we had a move like this. Then we had higher highs. It's unfortunate that I'm drawing them from behind. So in this case, we had an upward market move or an upward market trend, and then later a downward market trend. So in this case, we may say the market has changed the trend, and by changing the trend, the market has broke structure. Breaking structure is defined by breaking of the last lower high in this case, or the last higher high in an inverse case. So in this case, the market actually broke structure, and we are now in a downward move. In this case, we would say the market broke structure when it broke this zone, right? So after the market breaks structure, it's not wise for us to actually jump into the market in the perceived direction or perceived trend. We will need to have confirmation of what is happening with the market. In this case, by confirmation, we need a set lower high, a set lower low, and another lower low. So on the new lower high is the point where we anticipate to actually get to participate within the market, right? So this is the basis of this strategy that we are going to talk about, right? So in this case, we can see that this was the last lower high of the previous trend, right? And after that, we broke this region, right? After breaking this region, we made a new lower high and a new lower low. The market went down. It gave us another lower low. We were now anticipating a new lower high. So in this case, what we will use for our entry was actually retest of the new of the last lower low, like this. So it's break of structure, lower high, lower low, lower low, and on the lower high, that is where we will go in. So let's actually have more examples of this trading. So in this case, we were in a downward trend. Then after that, we can see that this was the last lower high of the downward trend, and we broke it. After breaking it, it wasn't wise for us to get in right away. We need to follow our rules. We need a lower high in this case and a higher high at this point, then breaking of the higher high, right? And then later seeing the market retest after confirming that we are now in an upward trend. So we were going to enter at the retest of this region, right? Let's have another. As we can see, we were in an upward trend, right? After that upward trend, we can see that this was the last lower high and we broke it, signifying that we are now in a new trend, which is a downward trend, and then made the first lower high, first lower low, second lower high, and on the next lower low, on the next lower high, that is where we were going to enter. So at retest of this region, that is where we were going to enter the market. So at this point, we had breaking of this zone, right? Making of the new lower high. And so we had higher high, lower high, and then breaking of this region and retest up to this point. It was somehow a tricky trade, since you could actually get closed at break even, since the move was not big enough. However, it met our criteria of entry and we could enter long from this region up to this point, right? Then right now we actually broke this last low, and after that we made a new high, a new low, right? A new low at this high. That is where we anticipate to get our market entry. So at retest of this point, we were going to sell the market. So that is basically what you will be doing when you are using this particular strategy. It's simple, but will require patience as well as discipline to follow all the parameters line up. On that note, we come to the end of this video. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe.